Conclusion inevitable.
It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
My conclusion was that this idea was not a practical deterrent.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
In conclusion.
Hello there, folks. Welcome back to In Conclusion, the only movie podcast that will give you motion sickness. I'm Dan O'Keefe, and joining me, as always, queasy and unable to ride in a car for long periods of time, it's Anna Otto. Hi, Anna. How are you?
You didn't need to clock me like that. That's actually true.
I didn't need to, but I could, so I took the opportunity. I took the shot.
Motion sickness all the time. I'm good, Dan. How was your Easter?
My Easter was good. Thanks for asking me that for the first time, right as
You're
we started
welcome
recording.
For the first time.
It was good. We hosted people over here, so I got to make ham and French onion soup pasta.
Oh my fuck!
As a vegetarian option.
Can you mail me some? That sounds scrumptious.
I could send you the recipe. I don't know. I didn't have any, but everybody else said it was very good.
Any? Why didn't you eat any?
Because I was eating ham.
But why couldn't you have both?
I
would have smashed both.
I don't know.
I'm shook. I would have eaten some.
How was your Easter?
Good. We went by Gage's family. I did a doggy egg hunt.
Okay.
That was literally the cutest thing I've ever done in my life. I thought none of them. So there were 4 dogs there. The old Chihuahua did not join. Mm-hmm. She said, respectfully, I hate this and I hate all of you. And she flipped me off.
Wait, the dog
Jester,
did?
Yes. No, her name's Chloe, and she's just old. She got really upset anytime Jester was like near her. Uh-huh. But she also just kind of gets upset when anybody's near her. That's just kind of her energy.
Okay.
And she's Chihuahua poodle mix, and her hair had just been cut. So everybody's like, look at the Easter lamb. That's what she looks like. She is. Anyway. So she sniffed an egg and was like, forget this. I'm not doing it. And she ran away. But the bulldog, the pit, and Jester, they all had a great time.
That sounds like a children's book.
I know. The bulldog, the pit, and Jester. Yeah. Well, speaking of which, there's a bulldog walking on my street right now. Very cute. 10 out of 10.
Take it.
Well, I actually know that dog, but
no, you know the dog? What?
Yeah, because when I worked at a doggy daycare, Dan, he attended.
Oh my lord.
But I don't know his owners. Anyway.
You should go out and greet the dog and totally ignore the owners.
I would love to. I know his name.
What's his name?
Zeke. Shoot, I shouldn't have said that so loud. My windows are open and he's pooping on my lawn. Okay, anyway. Jester is enthralled. She's looking out the window at him right now.
She's like, anyway, I can't wait to put that in my mouth.
Ew. Oh, God. Ew, Dan. Anyway, my Easter was good. Thank you for asking.
Anyway, let's talk about movies here. The movie that we're talking about today is the Bourne Supremacy, the second movie in the Bourne trilogy of 5 films.
I got confused today, and I was talking about it at work, and I kept saying, I watched The Bourne Legacy. No. I love Matt Damon. And everybody's like, he's not in that one. And I was like, what are you talking about? I literally watched.
No, The Bourne Supremacy, released in 2004, directed by Paul Greengrass, written once again by Tony Gilroy, starring Matt Damon, Franca Potente, Brian Cox, Julia Stiles, Carl Urban. What's happening? What, did they not pick up the dog shit?
No, Jester just started barking and running into she just started acting crazy. I think she wants to go outside and sniff it, and she's mad that I won't let her. Continue on with your list of producers and directors and
Actors! I'm on the actors now.
I was distracted, Dan. My dog was lunging to the window.
Also starring Gabriel Mann and Joan Allen. Released on July 23rd, 2004. 19 years ago. With a budget of $75 million, it made $290.6 million at the box office. And on Rotten Tomatoes,
everybody's dad was in the theater.
82% approval rating. A well-made sequel that delivers the thrills.
Gage said he likes this one better than the first one. I think I like the first one better. Just because I was upset within the first 10 minutes of this movie.
I can't imagine why. Nothing happens in the first 10 minutes that totally changes the whole dynamic that you loved from the first movie compared to this one.
Yeah, I was pissed. The gasp I gasped. We'll get to it, but the gasp I gasped.
Roger Ebert, 3 stars out of 4.
3? That's a lot. Okay.
I think so. Was this the first time you saw this? I assume so.
Yes, this is the first time I've seen any of these movies. I just like Matt Damon.
Oh yeah. This is not the first time that I saw it. Like I said before, I've seen these all a bunch of times.
It's a rite of passage for straight white men. I get it.
Yeah. And I will say, this was not a dad movie when it came out. This was popular.
With future dads.
Future dads, sure, but this is the Bourne franchise is one of the most influential movie franchises of the past 20 years.
I know, because I remember what we talked about last time, but I just have always pictured dads enjoying it. Like when he's running on the beach in this movie wearing literally jorts and New Balances, I was like, dad energy. Not jorts, cargo shorts, which is just as bad and incriminating.
Look,
okay,
John Cena wrestled in both, so they fit as the same thing.
Dear God, not John Cena, please.
Yeah, so this is not the first time that I've seen this, but this is the first time I've rewatched this in a while because I've rewatched The Bourne Identity a bunch of times because it's always on TV, and I've rewatched The Bourne Ultimatum a bunch of times because it's also always on TV. This one, not as much, or I just don't see it as much, so I don't remember the last time I saw this. Man, I like this so much more than I thought I did.
Gage loved this one. He loved it. And did you see my text?
In my mind, I was like, oh, this is the worst one. Whatever, nothing really happens. They totally switch. Jason Bourne's basically a villain in this.
Yeah, the narrative completely changes. Like you said, it changes from the first one. It's giving John Wick, but instead of a dog, it's a person.
Right.
Did you see my text, though, that I thought one of the actresses looked like off-brand Anna, but Anna's prettier?
I did. I don't know who you're talking about.
What's her name? Oh, God, I'm having such a brain fart. The blonde one.
Talking about Julia Stiles from 10 Things I Hate About
No,
You?
not Julia Stiles. I know her.
The blonde one? She's the blonde one. Or Pam
No,
Landy?
the other blonde one.
The
Yes.
main woman?
Yes.
You think that Anna looks like Joan Allen?
A little bit in this movie.
I want you to go...
Gage and I had the same thought. He said, do you think she looks like Anna? And I said, yes, she does.
I want you to go onto Wikipedia and look up Joan Allen and look at the picture that they use for her.
It's not going to look anything like Anna. I know it's not.
No, but it will look like... I want to save my description until you actually see the picture.
Oh, she's dead?
No.
Oh, no. That's a horrible picture of
That
her.
looks like she eats children.
That's a horrible picture of her. Oh, she's from Illinois.
She is. Rochelle.
They could not have chosen a worse picture of this poor woman. Oh, she's a Leo. Slay.
You just know. Is that because that's yours, or you just know what?
Yeah,
all the
she's born
signs
2
are?
days. Her birthday's 2 days after mine.
Gotcha.
I know most of them. It's easy because they all end on the 23rd is the first of the next group. So
I couldn't name.
I guess I'm not going to look at you for the rest of this podcast.
Yeah, Anna has a dog's tail directly blocking her camera and computer. Who needs it? Who needs to see each other?
Not us.
It's a podcast. Do you think that kids in the future, or I guess kids now, understand why they're called podcasts?
I don't know if I do.
Where the pod comes from?
No, where's the pod come from?
The iPod.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, they're iPod broadcasts.
Oh, I guess I never realized that.
You
Well-
are the kids of the future.
Me and the kids of the future learned something today.
You are the youth of the nation. POD
Wow.
is very happy with you.
I am the future.
How did you feel about the directing in this compared to the first one?
This is really picky, but I felt like some of the shots were really choppy, and that kind of gave me anxiety. And
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a choice or not.
Oh, it is a choice. That's every Paul Greengrass movie is like this.
Okay.
The way he directs is basically like, it's all handheld.
That makes so much freaking sense, because I was like, why do I feel like this was filmed on like a phone
Yeah.
or something?
All handheld, all is like very shaky, very like the camera has no idea what's going to happen, just going to be throwing
God.
it around.
Was this the same thing where like, was it the last movie you said,
Yeah, that's how they filmed
They
the
didn't-
CIA sequences, and they didn't allow
Yeah.
the cameraman into the rehearsals. With this, I think it's even more. They didn't allow the cameraman to watch what he was filming, just kind of throwing things
Yeah.
around.
If in the last movie the cameraman was supposed to be, in the CIA sequences, somebody who works there who's following the conversation, this was the intern.
Yes.
This is his first day, and he's very confused.
The producer described it as a sense of the camera as a participatory viewer. So it is looking around the same way that someone who has no idea what's going on is looking around.
Oh, they're really trying to immerse us. I get it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And
sorry.
It
I just
was
remembered
both
something.
with this and with the sequel, they would put warnings outside of movie theaters for motion sickness.
Oh dear God, I didn't think it was that far, but yeah, I get that. I can understand if I was watching it somewhere other than my house where I can look away, where that would be an issue.
Yeah, and as I said, super influential. This was the first movie that was, aside from the Blair Witch Project with
I was gonna
found
say Blair
footage,
Witch.
but this was the first found footage movie shot, major movie shot like this, where it's everything's moving and people weren't used to it then. It was wild. It was new. It was like
Dan?
a train coming at the screen. Everybody thought it was going to hit them.
I lost
Don't
you for
worry,
a second,
I was
but I'm
talking
back.
during that entire thing.
Good. No, that's for the best. That's for the best. No, I just. That's really. These movies are influential. These movies are. They're giving. They're giving inspiration. They're giving motion sickness.
And they're taking one character.
The scream I scrumped. I was upset. I gasped. Noise complaint immediately.
So
That's how upset I was.
okay, so it starts out and Jason Bourne and Marie, his partner, girlfriend.
I think that's his girlfriend. I immediately feminine gaze. He's waking up. He's sweat. Let me describe this scene, Dan.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm ready.
He's waking up, sweaty. Oh, I had a bad dream. I'm remembering everything from before. Oh, I'm Jason Bourne. He's in the bathroom. He's holding the sink. Normally, that's me in our relationship. And Gage goes, "Are you throwing up?" Anyway, that's a joke about my chronic anxiety. So he's
Are you
holding
Jason
the
Bourne?
sink. Oh, Jesus Christ! It's Jason Bourne. He's holding the sink. He's wearing a very tight little tank top.
Sweaty little
Some might
tank
call those a
top.
beater, okay, but it's 2023, so it's a tank top. And Marie runs and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Is that Marie? She looks different." Gage is like, "She has
Completely
different
different.
hair." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I just wanted to make sure because I was confused. And Jester, please, I'm describing something sexy. And he's in there. And she goes, "Are you okay?" And he puts his little hand up to her face and he's like, "It's just a bad dream. I have a headache, blah, blah, blah." And she's like, "No, we need to get this sorted out. It's too much." And he's like, "No, baby." He does not say baby, but in my head he did.
Baby girl.
He's stroking her cheek. Okay, Dan, take us back on track.
Yeah. So
I texted you. I literally texted you. Let me read it. You didn't reply.
no,
I was
didn't.
so
It didn't.
upset.
I had nothing to say.
I said 2 seconds into the movie, I'm already dialed in, wink, wink, and then I was disappointed, so I stopped texting you because horrible things happened.
You
So what's the
texted me
point?
that, and I was like, "She's not gonna be happy in about 10 minutes."
This is like how when I watched Dexter, when they, spoiler alert, killed his wife, I stopped watching the show for a year.
Bad things happen for narrative and character reasons.
I hate it. I literally said to Gage, he's like, "You want to watch Dexter?" I was like, "I'm depressed." No. For a year. And then he was like, "Okay, are you ready to watch it?" I was like, "I guess I'm ready to be heard again. I think. Maybe." I'm pretty pissed, though.
So
It's always the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
yeah, because they're expendable. Yeah. In these movies, they're not the main character. That's why.
What am I supposed to do in these conditions? I live for the romance, the softening of the hard male character. In this movie, hard as a rock.
He gets harder.
Wait.
He just firms up.
He's just like clay that's been in the oven.
Do they call it the
too
oven?
hard.
Isn't it the kiln?
Oh, I was talking about Fimo clay that you bake in your oven.
Female
Not
clay?
like-
What kind of clay?
Fimo clay, like
What is
crafting
Fimo?
clay. It's a brand of clay that you bake in your oven. Dan, did you never do a craft in your life?
I did. I just had the Crayola clay. Except one year when I was like 9, my uncle got me 10 pounds of clay for Christmas. I just had a box full of clay in my basement that I would make little trinkets with, but we didn't have a kiln or anything, so they were never cast.
That's Fimo clay, Dan.
No, but that wasn't clay you made in your oven. That was like actual clay.
You got me messed up,
Yeah.
but I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Bourne and Marie are living in India. He's got amnesia. He's having bad dreams. He's writing notes about his life in his notebook.
Oh, we love a man who journals.
In
I
Berlin,
know.
Deputy Director of the CIA, Pamela Landy, is paying $3 million to a Russian source for the Nevsky files about a $20 million theft 7 years prior. It doesn't matter what's happening there. Most of the plot of this movie doesn't matter, and I love it.
Well, they're setting him up. They're like planting his thumbs.
Yes. They are.
Thumbprints is what I meant.
Jason Bourne is being set up by the CIA or the Russian Federal Security Service by Karl Urban. Very pretty in this movie. Very Russian Australian man. Kills the agent, kills the source, steals all the files and the money, and puts fingerprints framing Bourne. Uh-oh. But Bourne's in India. No. According to the CIA, he's in Berlin, and he's killing. After they find Bourne's fingerprint, Pamela Landy, who apparently looks like my fiance, look up her Wikipedia picture.
Period.
That's exactly what
Not
my
the
fiance
Wikipedia.
looks like.
Yes, confirmed. Sorry, Anna.
She talks to Brian Cox, who is the head of the CIA, about Treadstone, which doesn't exist anymore. But it's been replaced with Blackbriar, which is the same thing. Whatever. Again, the plot doesn't really matter. They say that the CIA agent stole $20 million named in the files. He was going to... Vladimir Nevsky, the files say that he was going to reveal the identity of the thief, but then he was killed in a murder-suicide in Berlin. Landy thinks that it was Bourne and Conklin from the previous movie who died were involved, and Bourne killed it. So they go to Berlin to capture Bourne. I feel like I have described more plot than this movie needs or actually cares about. Because
I would agree with you.
So the first third of the movie, there's like plot and setup and whatever. But does it matter? Not at all.
No.
Like, it gives the characters a reason to be in Berlin, and that's why they're being chased after. But it's a very bizarre, not bizarre in like a bad way, but a very bizarre character study in that it doesn't really reveal anything that we don't know or don't assume about the character, but it reveals it to the character that they don't know that about themselves.
It's giving Shakespeare.
Yes. When I think of Shakespearean dramas, the first one that pops into my head after Twelfth Night, my favorite drama, is The Bourne Supremacy.
I'm mad at you for 15 different reasons.
I don't know. Twelfth Night was the first one that popped into my head.
Not Romeo and Juliet.
Not a drama. That's a comedy.
Foolish. Comedy.
Coriolanus, my favorite comedy.
I'm tired of you.
I can pull out my book of Shakespeare and
I got mine too somewhere. We could Shakespeare off.
so we beat on, boats up against the current, borne ceaselessly into the past.
That's not fair. You were actually cast in a Shakespeare show, and I am not built for Shakespeare.
And that was The Great Gatsby. That wasn't Shakespeare.
Oh, they sound the same. Don't tell F. Scott Fitzgerald. Just kidding. He'd probably love that.
They're all dead.
True.
So, whoever is in charge of Karl Urban tells him to go to India and kills Bourne. While they're in India, Bourne realizes they get made because Karl Urban stands out in basically every single way possible. He's driving like a Mercedes-Benz around the super impoverished part of India.
Yeah, it's like when Marie's like, how do you know that's somebody weird? And he's driving like a nice-ass car. You didn't think that was funny?
No, I did. You cut out. So I got He was driving, and then it got silent, and I was like, uh-huh.
They said a nice ass car.
Yeah.
I was just having a good chuckle. That's for the best. I laughed an ugly laugh.
Beautiful. He's driving a nice ass car, and also he is like, he doesn't. This is not stereotyping, but he doesn't look like he should be there. He looks like he should be in a Russian dance club.
Yeah, he's just like they're in, like you said, like they're in like a poorer area, and they fit in because they're dressed to like match the people around them. Like
green. They're wearing olive and beige.
Green is the color of different countries, right?
Yes.
When you travel, you don't wear green.
Yeah,
only?
green is the color of different countries, unless you're in Mexico, and then it's like sepia.
Sepia tones,
Yes.
yes. Or if you're in Russia or somewhere cold, it's blue.
Yes, correct.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in Australia, it's just upside down. Same colors.
Mm-hmm. I wear my pants over my arms.
I like to imagine that you do that devoid of context. You walk into your office and you're like,
yes.
hey, guess who's got feet
Good
for
morning.
fingers?
Good morning, everyone. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I do.
So as they are driving away, running from Carl Urban, they switch seats in the middle of the car chase, and then
That should have me screaming.
Jason Bourne is like, I have to do this, and Marie's like, you don't have to do this, you have a choice, and then she immediately gets shot in the head.
The way I gasped, Dan, it was audible. I was just going on. I was like, oh, I'm so glad she's in this, and then she dies.
Yeah.
I was so upset.
Too stunned
We were
to
eating
speak.
dinner. I lost my appetite. Immediately sick to my stomach.
Narratively, dramaturgically, it makes sense.
Yeah, but I hate it. I hated it.
And she gets shot in the head. She is dead. He can't even save her body as they crash into the river.
Why was he performing CPR under the water? Doesn't that seem like stoopy? Because what if she goes, and she just breathes
Just
all the
sucks
water
up
in?
the water. It's
Like, I saw him doing that. I was like, are you trying to kiss or are you trying to revive? Because under the water, she's not going to get revived. Like, this is dumb.
more touch of them lips.
Literally, he's like,
I'll
That's how
suck
you
the
do
water out of
CPR,
your
like-
lungs.
ew. I said to Gage, I was like, I'm not cut out to be a special ops agent. And he's like, because of the rigorous training. And I was like, no, because of the emotions. And I'm scared. He's like, okay.
So after the chase, Bourne is like, I got to get revenge on whoever killed her. And it was obviously
Period.
the CIA. So he goes to Naples. He's wearing a sweater on the boat again.
Amazing.
He lets himself get caught by security. And then as he is in a holding cell being interviewed, he is not answering any questions. They get a call from Landy at the CIA. And they're like, do you have a Jason Bourne? Don't let him leave. Don't let him do anything. And he immediately just shreks them in the interview room. Copies the SIM card from one of the guards' phones. And he learns
Chaotic.
He learns who Landy is, learns about being framed about the job in Berlin. He is like, I wasn't in Berlin. I didn't do that job. And they're like, but you did. But you were. You've been here before. And he's like, I've never been here. What's happening? Yada, yada, yada. So
Chaos is beginning.
then it's time to go to everyone's favorite country in Germany. Munich.
That's not a country.
I said country. I meant city. I am a fool.
I was like, is this like the Vatican? Like where it's a country but also a city?
Everyone's favorite country in Germany. West.
Boo, bad joke.
So he goes to visit Jarda, a person who we have never met before, have no idea who he is, but is another Treadstone agent.
Love it. Never
they-
seen this man in my life.
They apparently know each other. He says that Treadstone was shut down after Conklin's death, and then they start fighting. They have a cute little fight in his nice little Munich house. Very modern. Very 2004. Anna was given a book of modern interior design inspiration.
Ooh,
and
I would
say,
love to see it.
well, I say modern. It was released in 2003, so maybe 1 out of 10 things actually looks interesting or useful.
So it's retro.
Well, retro kind of implies,
Hip again.
yeah, it's outdated.
I would love if she took a picture of her favorite thing in there and sent it to me.
Oh, her favorite thing is like this floating hallway above a staircase that has no railing or anything.
Oh, that gives me anxiety.
It is
Absolutely
just
not.
like flat boards.
No, no, thank you, sir. I would fall. I would literally be crawling across that hallway because I'm scared.
One ill step, the cat runs in front of you. Anything like that, you're falling. You're done.
Dear God.
Hope you install that
That's
over a
scary.
ball pit.
Literally, that's so scary. A trampoline so that you can just bump right back up. Oh, God. That's really scary. No, thank you. I'm good.
So after the fight, Bourne strangles Jarda to death. Oh no.
Period. That scene?
That was intense.
Wait. Mm-hmm. Because this was the scene with the newspaper.
Yes.
Gage was going crazy for the newspaper. He's like, "You're the newspaper scene."
They're fighting with the newspaper. He was going crazy for that.
Literally.
I was going more crazy with him putting the magazine in the toaster. That's how he
didn't
blew up the
even
house. He
see that.
unscrewed the gas pipe. He folded up a magazine, put it in a toaster, and then put the toaster down to toast. And I was like, that's my escape plan. I know how I'm going to...
That's genius.
I know how I'm going to get out, how I'm going to fake things. Oh no, there was a gas explosion. He just loved toasting too much.
Rip toaster.
What was that in his toaster? An issue of Playboy.
Sorry, I'm sighing because when we were cleaning out my grandma's house after she passed away, we found a stack of Playboys from the 80s that belonged to my grandpa, and it was... No, the 70s. It was jarring.
I was hoping you were going to
like-
say they were hers.
No, sorry. She just, couldn't get rid of them. So
Absolutely. It meant too much to her husband.
I get it. Me too.
Whenever I go to like an antique store or like a antique mall, something like that, it's always interesting to see the prices that they have these retro
Yes.
Playboys at. One that I was
Yes.
at a couple weeks ago, it was like $20 for one issue.
Who was on the cover? Who was the?
No, they
was
were
the
just
centerfold?
random. They were just random ones from like the 70s, and I was like,
if it was,
$20?
like-
That's absurd.
If it was like somebody famous as the centerfold, I'd be like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
But $20 just for
just
Plain
for Miss
Jane.
March. Okay,
no, thank you. I'm not paying for that.
no. I was like, we were trying to, because we were planning to have people over for Easter, and I was like, you should get one of those, and we could just like have that on like the coffee table. And I'm like,
I love that energy.
yeah, that's very progressive of you. It's very, very modern woman. Love that. We did not
It's
get it.
also, I love her. I love her energy. I don't think I would have a copy of Playboy on my my table either, just because.
You also don't have framed pinup pictures on your wall.
No, but that
We
would be
do.
cool too. Your fiance's so cool.
Right, she is.
God, I love her. Can I marry her?
I did put some reading material in the bathroom though, so if people were having a long time in there
Playboys?
for one reason or another.
For when I have my crisis. I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Crises.
So I put 2 books in there. One is a book about serial killers.
Slay,
the last book
perfect.
on the left, the last podcast book.
Love.
And the other one is a very dense book that was originally written in French and then translated by my dad's cousin called The History of Terrorism. Look, I don't know how long people were going to be in there.
That's one I'd take out of the bathroom with me. I'd take both of those. I'd be like, I need these.
Excuse me, can I borrow this? I got to page 100. It's very interesting.
Sorry I was in there for 3 hours. I finished this book.
Anyone else need to go? No? Great.
Perfect.
So the house explodes. Agents can't capture Bourne. So then Landy and Abbott, who are back in Berlin now, they meet up with Nikki Parsons, Julia Stiles, 10 Things I Hate About You.
I forgot her name was Nikki. Gage just goes, Nikki. And I was like,
Who the fuck
that's
is Nikki?
Julia Stiles. Her name's not Nikki. Like,
Her name? What's her name in 10 Things I Hate About You?
Catherine. I don't remember. Julia Stiles?
It's Cat. You were good.
Slay. I was right.
I'm actually really impressed that you got that.
Thank you. Why? I'm good at things.
Sure. Why would you remember that, though? You know that she was in Dexter?
Oh, yeah. I did know that. I did finish Dexter.
Her name is Lumen?
Yeah.
Dumb. Her name is Light?
Yeah. I can't remember her plot, but I remember her having a weird name.
Ooh. Well, I'm reading her plot. Not a fun start.
Wasn't she like... Let me see if I remember. She was trafficked, wasn't she? And he kills her trafficker?
Yes.
Slay.
And she watches it. She sees him kill him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember things, see?
Wow.
And don't they date for a while?
Look at you.
I loved Dexter, minus the part where Rita dies.
I like the show that Dexter's based off of, Dexter's Laboratory.
Out of my ears! I loved Dexter's Lab when I was little.
I thought it was fine. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. I was always more Powerpuff Girls.
Also a slay.
Yeah. I support women.
As you should. I support short kings.
Okay.
Well, you're over 6 feet. You don't count.
Exactly.
You're not short.
Yeah, no. If anybody described me as a short king,
it would be an NBA player.
Yeah, come on. Thanks, Shaq. So Bourne watches the CIA as they try to find him. He watches them on the roof. He's got his sniper rifle trained on Landy.
This is spooky.
And he is...
It was giving villain.
Yeah, he's ready to pull the trigger. He's got it aimed on her. And then he sees Nikki in there. And for some reason, that stops him.
Well, I think he has a moral compass of some sort.
Yeah, he realizes... Because he remembers Nikki from his past life and from Paris. And I think that seeing her reminds him that these are people and not just... his enemies.
She was supposed to take care of him, and instead of being vengeful and being like, because you didn't take care of me, my brain's screwed up, he was like, oh, okay, she worked really hard to keep me safe. So that's my interpretation.
Yeah. No, I think that's how I interpreted it too. You are a blanket and not a pile of spikes.
Amen.
That's how I describe my life to my therapist. Everyone's either a blanket or a pile of spikes, and I'm lying down on one of them.
Oh, I'm a spiky blanket.
What does that mean?
It means that I'm spicy.
What?
I'm just being a little spicy.
We allow people to use words too liberally.
Spicy?
I'm a spicy blanket. No, you're not. Yeah. You're not.
Yes, I am.
You're not.
Spiky blanket.
That's, if anything, you're less.
Oh.
You're only spiky if you, haven't shaved your legs in a while.
Oh, no, I just shaved, 2 nights ago, because Gage calls them my spider legs.
I've never shaved my legs.
Oh, well, then you're always spiky.
Oh, no, because it goes past that. Now it's just fur.
That's true. You're past the itchy phase.
Yeah, I am better than that. Anyway, Bourne kidnaps Nikki in the middle of he's like, meet me alone in this square. There's a protest going on in there. Also, as he is talking to Landy on the phone while having a sniper trained on him, he says they need 90 seconds to triangulate his position, and he hangs up the phone call in 88 seconds, so they can't get him.
Slay.
Learns that Brian Cox Abbott was Conklin's boss, and Nikki knows nothing about the mission. She was just living in Europe, and they called her in.
Sometimes that's just how it be. Wrong place, wrong time. We're in Europe. We're living. Getting called in.
What an internship. What an internship she had as an asset with the CIA. Bourne then goes to the hotel where Nesky and his wife were murdered, and he remembers more of his mission. He killed Nesky and his wife and made it look like a murder-suicide. Jason Bourne is a villain.
It'd be like that, okay? I can't sit here and defend him, okay? Just because he was like sexy during the show, I can't sit here and defend him.
But after the first one, you're like, oh no, he has like a moral compass. He won't kill kids. Well, does he have that much of a moral compass, or did he just reach a breaking point?
Maybe he figured like adults suck, and he's like, fuck them, and he just. I'm not condoning this.
No, I think you are. I think you are condoning it.
I'm talking about in the movie. No, I'm like twirling my hair, like, oh my god, Jason,
stop.
Stop, Jason. Oh my god.
Stop making it look like a murder suicide.
Oh my god, Jason.
You're such a bad boy.
Oh my god. Slaps his arm.
Give me your jacket. I'm cold.
Literally. Give me your gun. I want to feel powerful. I don't know. And this is coming from me, who supports gun control.
I thought you said, who is poor gun control? And I'm like, they hand you a gun and you just start firing?
Swear way I start firing. Anyway, I'm in a silly, goofy mood.
So, Conklin's former assistant, Danny Zorn, shows up, and you know he's going to die. Just immediately. He finds inconsistencies with the report of Bourne's involvement with the death of the agent in Berlin. And he tells his theory to Abbott, and then Abbott straight up kills him, so he won't tell Landy. Got to cover your tracks. And then Bourne breaks into Abbott's hotel room, records a conversation between him and the Russian that incriminates him in the theft of the $20 million. It doesn't matter. What happens with the whole Russian plot, it's so inconsequential to the actual heart of the story. But when confronted, Abbott admits that he stole the money and ordered the guy to retrieve the files and have him framed before arranging to have him killed in India. And Abbott expects Bourne to kill him, but he doesn't because Marie wouldn't want him to kill Abbott. I want to remind you, about 20 minutes earlier, he was ready to just murk Landy.
Marie the ghost came back and like lightly touched his hand and was like, no.
You don't have to do this. You have a choice.
That's exactly what she said.
That's also a spot-on impression of her.
That is.
It's me, Marie.
Wow, it's me. Hi, I'm Marie.
Oh, Marie. Oh, Marie. Do you think he ever sang that to her?
Only in private. I feel like he wouldn't want people to know that he sang. This is not We Bought a Zoo, Matt Damon, okay?
Does he sing in that? I haven't seen it.
No, I don't think he did, but he's soft in that movie.
Well, yeah. No one hard is buying a zoo.
True.
We bought a fucking zoo.
Bitch.
So Bourne leaves his gun on the table and leaves, and then Landy confronts Abbott about her suspicions, and he kills himself. He says, I'm a patriot, and then kills himself.
Didn't know what to think about that. I mean, I did know what to think. I just didn't want to.
Sure. I think it makes sense. Everything makes sense. Good care. I mean, again, I think the characterizations in this movie are great.
Yeah. I agree with you.
It's much more multidimensional, especially the CIA side, than it was in the first movie. So,
but the jerky shots, man. The jerky shots.
They're both herky and jerky.
Ooh, I had to hold on to a bucket.
Okay. Did you?
No, I'm lying to you.
If you watched this in a car, would it cancel itself out?
No, I would immediately throw up.
Okay, cool.
I can't read or look at my phone in the car. It would not even matter what movie it was. I would be sick.
Landy finds an envelope containing Abbott's conversation with Bourne in the hotel room, and she's like, "Oh, he broke in here. He gave me the facts." And then there's a whole like 30-minute sequence of like a car chase in Russia between Bourne and Karl Urban, who thought he had 2 weeks off but didn't. And that was the most realistic part of the whole movie. You said I had 2 weeks off. You don't. Oh man.
Triggered.
Feel
Fighting
bad
for my
for him.
life every day.
So he finds Bourne and wounds him, and then after a long car chase, it's very exciting. Whatever, car chase. Describing it doesn't do anything.
The cars are chasing each other.
All through Russia or Berlin where they filmed, but who cares? And Jason leaves behind Carl Urban, who was seriously wounded after it goes into a concrete divider. And he walks away somehow. No one thinks to question him as he just walks up a highway on-ramp.
Yeah.
Whatever. He has plot armor.
You're right.
And the reason he's in Russia is he locates Irina, who is the daughter of the couple that he killed, and apologizes to her.
Oh, that had me crying in the club.
Heart-wrenching.
I was like, dang.
Imagine being her.
Dang, dang.
How confusing that is.
Well, this scary man comes into your house and he's just like, I won't hurt you. I'm like, you might. I never see you. I have a healthy fear of men. Okay.
Sure.
Oh, Jester's also scared of men. She just voiced her opinion. I don't know if you heard her. She said men are scary.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, I would be pooping my pants if this jacked man was suddenly in my house and
I killed your parents.
I'd be like, the police are on their way. Like, that's all there is to it. Thank you so much, but the police are on their way.
After he apologizes, we then flash forward a little bit. And in New York, Bourne calls Landy. She thanks him for the tape, tells him that his real name is David Webb. He was born in 1970-something. And asks to meet, and he wants to meet with her. And Bourne, like the little creep he is, he's watching her from a building. He's like, you look tired. Get some rest. And then he disappears into New York City.
That's like an ice cold roast, though. You look tired. That's like the meanest thing you could say to somebody.
Right?
Mm-hmm. You look tired, bitch. Hangs up the phone.
I love how you don't care about the bags under your eyes. And then he disappears into New York City, ready to do something. And then Moby plays again. And that's the Bourne Supremacy.
Wow.
Very good.
Clapping.
Very fun. I really enjoyed
I had a good
this
time.
one.
I would agree. I did too.
Like, it's because it's much more of a character focused than it is the CIA versus. It is still the CIA versus Jason Bourne, but the reason for it doesn't really matter. It's all based on the character motivations.
I hope he gets another girlfriend. For selfish reasons.
Don't remember whether or not he does, but I can tell you, Marie's dead. She's not coming back.
I know, but maybe he has another soft moment.
Oh,
and
maybe
kissing.
Maybe she has an identical twin sister who lives in New York, and they can kind of like meet up.
That kind of gives me the ick, though, Dan.
Oh, okay.
Would you, if Anna had an identical twin sister and she passed away, would you go hook up with her twin sister? Be honest. Sorry, Anna.
Oh, no. The battery died. Good thing I have a backup.
That's disgusting. You
No,
are
of course
foul.
of course I wouldn't do that.
Oh, thank God. I was like, it's giving the Bible. Please stop.
Yeah, I think the camera work, it wasn't as shaky as I remembered it to be.
It wasn't bad. There were just some shots where it's like if they were filming, and nobody else can see this because I'm using my phone as an example, but Dan can see it. If they're filming straight ahead, all of a sudden it was like, and I was like, oh my God, my head is spinning, girl.
Someone check on the cameraman.
Literally, I was like, did he fall? Are we good?
Right? There's very little trivia about this, but I have some.
Okay, I'm ready.
So the whole sequence in New York was
At the end?
Yeah, the end of it. That was filmed mere weeks before it was released. Because originally the movie just ended with the confession in Russia.
No, I don't like that.
And then the test audiences found that too bleak, so they added the New York postscript.
I agree. I would have found that to be too bleak as well.
Because also they were before, like, the sequel to this was greenlit before the movie came out. They weren't planning on having a sequel again. So it was just going to end with him having some closure with apologizing for his past mistakes.
Well, I'm glad they added something.
Me too. And then Doug Liman directed the first movie. He was replaced with Paul Greengrass because Liman didn't like working with the studio, and the studio didn't like working with him. So they replaced it with Paul.
Oh. Everyone's replaceable.
Moral of the story. Also,
Sorry, is that too bleak for you?
Carol, the Russian agent, is played by Carl Urban, who is from New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
And you've definitely seen other movies with Carl Urban in it.
Have I?
Yes. Did you see the
Like
new
what?
Star Trek movies with Chris Pine?
No. Oh, I saw one, but I fell asleep.
Well, he played the Doctor, Bones.
Was that the guy who gave Chris Pine the shot in his neck? Because
Yes.
that keeps me up at night. I hated that scene so much. Talk about anxiety.
You saw Thor Ragnarok?
I've not seen it yet.
Wow, okay.
Wait, we didn't watch that yet. No,
We didn't. He's in 2 of the Lord of the Rings movies.
I've never seen those.
I'm just going to keep naming things that he's in now.
Okay.
He's Judge Dredd in the movie Dredd.
Never seen it.
He was in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker as a stormtrooper, so you wouldn't have seen his face.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah, he's also in The Boys.
Oh, I've seen a couple episodes of that. Gage likes that show. I think it's gross because I saw some gross things one time when I was watching it, and I hated it.
He is Billy the Butcher, the leader of The Boys.
Oh.
The one with the beard.
No, all I remember from that show is the guy who shrunk down really small and climbed into somebody's penis, and then he got big again, and they exploded, and it haunts me.
Wow, I haven't seen this show, so
spoiler
I've
alert.
only seen clips of it on TikTok. What the fuck?
Spoiler alert, somebody climbs inside somebody else's pee-pee and explodes.
It's hard to see other people living your dream.
It's because they're high.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if that's your dream, Dan. They get high and they are screwing around and literally, and people die.
Anna, would this movie be better, worse, or the same with Jonathan Taylor Thomas as
There's no room.
Jason Bourne?
Matt Damon is so fine. I'm sorry, there's no room. I'm looking up his height.
He's like 6 feet tall. Matt Damon and I are very similar in size. We have the same size hands based on his handprint at the Chinese theater.
Oh, look at you. I wish he hadn't done cryptocurrency. Man, that really puts a damper on it.
Yeah, but it was just an ad. Larry David did it too.
Oh, Larry. Matt Damon's 5'10".
Oh, I'm taller than him, but we have the same size hands? Ugh.
Yeah.
Small-handed boy.
I'm so sorry for you.
Well, on Celebrity Heights, it says he's 5'9"3/4.
Oh my, he really scraping every inch that he can, huh?
Right? Ben Affleck, though, he is 6'2".
Dang, tall king.
Yeah, there's no room for Jimmy Stewart in this either.
You don't think so?
As Abbott, it wouldn't work as well.
You don't see him in like an action scene?
I'm a patriot.
Ew.
Jimmy Stewart popping up in India to kill Bourne. How do you know?
Iconic.
He just doesn't fit in. And it's Jimmy Stewart from It's a Wonderful Life.
I love that.
Say,
In a
where's that
suit.
Bourne fellow?
He's in a suit. Like, I'm living, honestly.
Why? Your agent's in Bill's house, and Bill's agent's in Jake's house.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason Bourne, I'm going to kill you.
The drama that would give? I'd be screaming.
On a scale of 1 to 5, Marie's deaths, what do you give it?
2.5. Very middle of the road for me. I like the first one better.
Okay.
I said it was middle. Wait,
I know.
Yeah,
No,
we do out of
2.5.
5.
Yeah, that's middle of the road. Yeah.
Yeah, very middle of the road. Like, I didn't hate it, but I was really sad that Marie died, and that was hard for me to get over.
Vibes are all off.
The vibes were off. I can't wait to go to work tomorrow and tell everybody that I actually watched a Bourne Supremacy and not the Bourne Legacy, though.
They'll be like, good. Bourne Legacy's really bad.
They'd be like, oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah. I watched The Bourne Identity and then The Bourne Legacy. You know, the order that you watch the movies in.
Is that not the order that they go in?
Oh, I do.
Do you think it's... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I do remember one extra piece of trivia. They had to pay a bunch of money to the producers of Ocean's 12 to bring back Matt Damon to film the part in New York because he was filming Ocean's 12 at the time.
Wow. He was getting that check.
He was.
Honestly, good for him. He's going to waste it all on cryptocurrency.
I'm going to go a little wild. 4.5 out of 5.
Oh my God. He really loved this movie.
I really
Dang.
liked it. I liked it. The end kind of got a little draggy, like the whole car chase in Russia. Wasn't all that necessary, but all the character stuff, I was in for it. It felt like a movie for adults, and I love movies for adults.
Oh, okay. Well, if you enjoyed it, that's great. I didn't dislike it. It's just, you know, I already said my piece. A movie for adults. Weird, because when we started doing this trilogy, you said you didn't think these were for adults. How times change, how you're eating your words, Daniel.
I didn't say I didn't think they were for adults. I just didn't think that they were, like, not for kids. They were popular movies, is what I was saying. This feels like it doesn't think that the audience is stupid.
Oh,
which I feel like a lot of action, especially superhero movies, they think the audience is incredibly stupid.
Wow. Jester, say hi. She just stepped on my chest and it was not comfortable.
Also, the guy who wrote all these Bourne movies, he is the showrunner for Andor, the Star Wars movie.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch
show.
that one. Yeah, I haven't watched that one, but Gage watched it. He liked it a lot.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either, but that's a Star Wars series that doesn't think that the audience is stupid.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. Yup.
So there you go. Any other thoughts?
No, I just hope that Jason Bourne. Well, wait. When are we gonna hear Jesus Christ? It's Jason Bourne.
That's in Jason Bourne, which we're not gonna watch because I don't want to watch that one.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch it on my own.
Just watch the clip.
Nightmare.
The clip is the only good part of that movie.
Jesus Christ! It's Jason Bourne.
My favorite.
I've said that every single time I've started one of these movies.
My favorite edit of that is somebody took a screen capture of it where it had the subtitle, and then on Christmas they just crossed out a bunch of stuff and it just said Jesus Christ is born.
I love that.
Right?
I
so
love
fun.
that.
Well, in that case, that's it for this week's episode of In Conclusion. If you want to find us on Facebook and Twitter, we are at and In Conclusion, on Instagram at In Conclusion Podcast, at Patreon at patreon.com/In Conclusion. If you want to find me, I'm on Twitter at Dan O'Keefe86 and on TikTok, where I recently had a viral TikTok at Not Dan O'Keefe.
I'm looking it up right now.
400,000 views.
Shut the front door, Dan.
It's because I talked about injuring children in it. Everybody loves when I talk about assaulting children.
Dan! Man, show my TikTok some love. Nobody is giving it love today, and I asked everybody to go watch it, and they didn't.
Hey, I liked it. I'm a good person.
Wait, no, which TikTok?
My most recent TikTok.
No, which one did you like?
No, whichever one showed up for me. I don't know.
Oh, that's okay.
Anna, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at AutomusPrime818, or you can find me on Twitter at AutobotsRollOut, capital O for Auto, capital B for Bots, capital R for Roll, and the O and Roll and the O out are zeros. And you can follow my dog at JesterThePup1017 on Instagram. That's a better one to follow, because I do more stuff there.
It's a cuter one.
It's a cuter one.
We will be back next week with the last movie in the Bourne trilogy. Too bad they made no movies after that. The Bourne Ultimatum.
I can't wait. I feel like this is the one I always think of when I think of...
That was definitely the most hyped when it was coming out.
Damn, you did go viral. Holy
right?
fucking shit.
Look at me. I'm a big deal. In the meantime, everybody stay safe and have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm just really shocked. John Green's evil twin. Wow. Oh, I guess he had a bad Easter.